Hello, welcome. Some time ago I did a video on what I called my cascade of product options. I want to let you know that I still believe in that concept where you speak to a collection of product, lead with product as I've lectured you ad nauseum on, and then work through that cascade of all those and some of those and one of those type scenario to make it easy for people to make a positive purchase decision. I've changed my cascade, the products that I use in that sequence. While not relevant, it used to be cleanse, balance, and matcha, because those are the products, and here's the criteria that I have a passion for and a positive personal experience with. That's what drives the passion. And I would suggest they're also the ones that over decades, in many cases, have proven themselves or have measurable or at least unambiguous results and or fall into a category that is either very trendy and very large or one that we have carved out for ourselves and essentially own by virtue of being the genesis. And you can guess which products line up with which concept there. My cascade, my bundle from which I cascade now is the following: cleanse, balance, or Bio's Life, and activate. That's no disrespect to matcha, but I've reprioritized my conversation. Cleanse, you know my passion for that. It works, it's unambiguous, it works immediately. We've owned that space for decades now. If you want to detoxify, cleanse, deparasitize, whatever the case may be in that space, nothing is better than cleanse. We own, and in many cases have defined that space. We've lost our skill in some cases to talk about that, but we own it. Balance. This entire company has been sustained and built on the variations of Bio's Life and balance. It is unambiguously workable and successful. The results are measurable, not by us, but by those folks with the white coats and letters after their names and stethoscopes around their necks. They can tell you and your folks that this product's working with a commonly understood, widely available, data-driven test that everybody understands and gets. And it's a huge space. Blood sugar, cholesterol, metabolic syndrome, all of those good things, which aren't good, but good for us in terms of being the solution there. And then activate. The reason activate now is the third part of my cascade is because I've had a wonderful, timely, focused, and positive experience with it. I've been carrying more pounds or kilos than I should have been. I've been more upholstered than maybe I would like to have been. And we're doing nothing different, maintaining the equally poor diet I've had, the crazy schedule with traveling, the cheeseburgers, watching CNN in your hotel room before you go to bed, blah, blah, blah. I've been able to shed about 18 pounds. Depends on where I'm at in the day and the month and what I had for dinner last night, but between 18 and 20 pounds. I'm about where I want to be. I like that. Pants are no longer tight. Belts are a notch or two in. In fact, I had to invest in new belts. Belts are expensive, by the way. I didn't realize how much they cost to get a good belt. Those are my three options. And as in the previous video about the cascade, the way I present it is this. Those are the three products I talk about as positive, data-driven, science-backed, great marketing materials, tip of the spear type conversation with everyone I meet. I present on the product first. I lead with that. The examples of that, significance and standard and rigor, is cleanse, balance, and activate. Then, based on the vibe I'm getting from the group or the individual, and more particularly when it comes down to a purchase decision, I then moderate that. Plus, I look at what I'm seeing. And then I say, well, okay, clearly, that's a bit of a, in my mind, I'm saying clearly that's a bit of a resistance point, or I'm sensing this is too much. Well, let's talk about cleanse and balance, or cleanse and activate. And then if I still sense that's not quite getting there, then I talk about cleanse, or balance, or activate. I present our credentials in a very rigorous way, wide spectrum of product, but tight in terms of number, cleanse, balance, activate, which includes obviously base and fuel. But then I moderate that based on the resistance or the acceptance or the body language or the questions I'm getting. What I want is I want people to join me and use the product. I'm less concerned with at what point and how and the transactional value of that first transaction. Transactions are built on relationships. Relationships in business are built on transactions. And so I play that very carefully. I just want someone to come in, join me, join us, buy and consume the product, receive the results we know they will get, because I know the lifetime value of that relationship and those transactions is huge. That's why I start with that bundle. My passion, the timeliness, the space we play in, the measurability, the results they produce, all of those things are, in my opinion, optimized with those three. Plus, they present a great spread in terms of the categories they're in. And then I just cascade down through that, from 3 to 2, this and that, this or that, back down to 1, such that the relationship is formed because the transaction occurs and we can go forward from there. Because the number one benefit of taking any of our products, particularly those 3, well managed and well followed up on and well supported and well compliant environmented, as we've spoken about before, is this stuff works. Usually said with some surprise. What else have you got? Well, tell me more about that so-and-so. As an aside, that's why I love Cleanse, because that conversation usually happens tomorrow morning. And I can then reintroduce them to Balance and Buyer's Life or Activate or other great products. It's a great entry point. Pick your poison, that's probably the wrong way to say it. Pick your bundle. For me, it's Cleanse, Balance, Activate. And then think through what are your various cascades as you sense where that person, that potential customer, that potential partner is at, and work through those options. You'll find great success in doing that. Your confidence will grow because you're leading with the product, you're doing the same thing over and over and over, and you have fallback options in case you come up against some potential resistance. Good luck. Have your own cascade, have your own bundle. Think it through, present it, but I highly recommend it include Cleanse, Balance or Buyer's Life, and Activate.